Hello and welcome back to Wolves. We are up against Manchester City, top of the table today, along with rivals Aston Villa, who are second. They also weirdly, right above my head, you can just see this, Tyrone Mings and Buendia, unregistered. Lucas Digne is also out. I don't know if that's an IRL injury, but it's cruciate ligament, so ow. But you can see, since we last met against Liverpool, quite a long while ago now, we have beaten Aston Villa in that time, before probably being dumped out by Huddersfield. I'm just going to say, it's one of those games. Also, weirdly, every time it's one of those games, the opponent has 6 shots and 6 on target. Odd parallels, but it's happened again. Also, the last time I trust Daniel Bentley in goal. I did use Jose Sarr for the Aston Villa game. But yes, bad news, good news. Bad news, I haven't returned the defensive solidity that Wolves were once known for. The good news is, at the very least, I've solved the lack of goal scoring that Wolves are now a little bit known for. Because whilst we've conceded in basically every game apart from Luton, we have also scored in every game apart from Everton and Huddersfield. You're not getting a 0-0 draw anymore, at the very least. But obviously, since Fabio Silva snatched a point against Liverpool, 2-1 against Burnley, yeah, that was fine. Slightly scary at the end when they got one back. Chelsea 2-1, sure. Newcastle 5-1. Adnan Januzaj with 2 goals. No penalties in this one. There's been penalties since, but yeah, 5 straightforward goals. Great work from the lads. And a nice little run in the league up until Everton as well. 2-0 against Luton, 2-1 away at West Ham, where Ben Rama got a penalty late on to make things scary once again. Fulham, we probably should have beaten, but they got a 91st minute equal. There's an annoying trend of late goals conceded. Bournemouth, we twice came back against to get a point. Forest, 2-1. Everton, they scored, and we couldn't do anything about it. Like I say, it's the only game we've not scored in, really, apart from Huddersfield. But with a full regular team, obviously rotations for Huddersfield, it's the first time they've failed. And then recently, I really wish I'd been recording this one, a comeback against Arsenal, 2-0 down within 12 minutes. I thought, oh no, here we go. We've lost to Everton. Here comes the slide. I'm actually marginally annoyed that Pedro Neto scored before half-time, because otherwise I'd have got the achievement already for that. But Neto, Januzaj, and Tommy Doyle smashing one in means that we came away from that game at the Molineux with all 3 points. Out of nowhere, really. All in all, as you can see at the top, 6th in the league. I'll also say right now, Saz has released a skin. There's some major UI problems that I don't like about it, notably fonts and just the brightness of the tablet in match games. So I am sticking with this skin for now, because overall it looks nicer. Apologies, Saz, not this year at this point. But of course, you make your own minds up. I believe it's still available at the same link as it was before. But this match against Manchester City does come 3 days after that Arsenal game. So not only are the matches difficult back-to-back, so is the scheduling. Now, Tommy Doyle, of course, on loan from Manchester City, so he can't even be in the squad. Sarabia isn't back from an injury. Fabio Silva's injured, as is João Victor with the flu. And just to highlight the utter pointlessness of the Santiago Brano signing, he literally doesn't even have a number yet. He hasn't even featured in any squads. He might do soon because Craig Dawson's on the yellow card warning, but we've got to this point and he's all right. Bellegarde will step in for Tommy Doyle, who of course is stepping in simultaneously for Pablo Sarabia in the first place. But Sarangol, Ait-Nouri, Kilman, Dawson, Semedo, João Gomez, Lamina, Bellegarde, Neto, Januzaj and Kunin. You may be concerned by the fact that I'm on attacking mentality. I was on attacking mentality against Arsenal. I was on it when we went 2-0 down, and I was on it when we went 3-2 up. I didn't change off it. If it ends up with being scored more than you, then that's fine. Instructions have changed. Actually, probably the most notable change for that Arsenal game in particular that I didn't have on before was telling the inside forwards to actually sit narrower. The wing-backs now go around them a lot better. But everything else kind of as is. I've also ball played both defenders just because they're both capable of it, really. Edison, Stones, Diaz, Akanji, Gvardio, that is 4 centre-backs. Fascinated to see how they line up, actually, properly. Do they have Ricardo Horta in real life? I'm not certain they do. They definitely don't have Jamal Baptiste. Sorry, I'm thinking of Shandon Baptiste. They might have Jamal Baptiste. I'm still not certain on that one either. Calvin Phillips, Silva, Calvin Phillips. I didn't check who was out for Manchester City because Rodri's missing. Silva, De Bruyne, Rafinha. Okay. Grealish and Haaland. There are interesting people missing there. Foden, Rodri. That's it, really. I say the bench looked quite weak, actually. No Ake in any form either. But there we go. Januzaj against Manchester City now. There's obviously the bit of Manchester United blood still in him, perhaps. So hopefully that comes through. Yeah, there's like 3 people on that. Well, there's 2 people on that bench that kind of feel like youth prospects. Baptiste and the one at the very bottom, Pudsey something. So it does feel like they are missing major players. And Kevin De Bruyne is injured immediately, or just not fit at all for this. No, he's been injured. Okay, straight off the bat. And Grealish has also smashed it over. We escaped that one. Does they have to take De Bruyne off early? That would be lovely. Ait-Nouri trying to do a long throw. He gets it as far as Dawson. Pedro Neto puts it in instead, though. Edison claims and rolls it to Akanji. That seems risky. If we intercepted that, we could have just dinked it straight over him. But alas, not to be. It does appear they are going back 4, though. I thought it might be a back 3 with a holding midfielder in, like, Stones, for instance. But it does appear to be a flat 4 with Stones and Gvardiol as the fullbacks. Gvardiol's slightly less weird because he does have left-back capabilities as demonstrated by getting it to... Sorry, Haaland scored 24 goals by December. That can't be right, surely. Has he bagged like 7 in against a Champions League fodder team or something? How has he scored 24 times by December? No Walker, of course, as well. That was notable, I now realise. Excuse me while I look this up. No, they're all league pretty much. Continental 2 in 6. Somehow that one has escaped my attention. Good lord. So Stones inverted fullback, Diaz as a libero. Both of them are inverted fullback, actually. Of course, that is the Man City way as such, and that's why inverted fullback is a thing this year. It was inspired by John Stones in the first place. But that's intercepted by João Gomez and just given to Haaland because, you know, why bother? Why bother actually trying defending when we can just give it to him instead and just see what he does with it? Score, obviously, the answer. Januzaj's taken a knock. Great. Just use your eyes, lads. Just use your eyes. Haaland's not exactly unmissable. Unbelievable. Unbelievably terrible. Januzaj's injured, which is a problem because we don't really have anyone to play that side. We'll stick Hwang Hee-chan out there, but he's not, you know, left-footed, so he's not natural cutting in. But, I mean, it's worth saying we're not necessarily been terrible overall performance-wise. We've only had one less shot than them. They've just obviously got Haaland. We are pressuring Akanji here. And Edison. Oh, that gets out to Stones. No one's on him for some reason. Bernardo. Rafinha. Closing him down. That's still going to get to Haaland, I think. I mean, I don't know what's happened with Semedo there, but I'll take it. Jose Sal. Apparently he's been struck by lightning in a freak super collider accident. But played back out to Akanji once again. Haaland's getting that, and Kilman's just given up, I think. Kilman has quite literally just given up here. He stepped up. We're literally on drop-off, by the way. Although I might have just taken that instruction off thinking about it. I can see why Haaland scored 26 now, I guess. Yep, I'd taken drop-off off. I tried it for a while because someone said it kind of worked. Everyone's just playing terribly. It's not a lot I can do about it. I say they've had 5 shots, we've had 4. They just have Haaland. Okay, maybe going attacking against Manchester City wasn't the right move, even though it was against Arsenal, who are also great. But Semedo's pulled one back. He's got a great goal early in the season, and he scored his first international goal. So, good for him. This comes back out to him. Dawson the target as our best aerial threat at the moment, it seems. So that salvages a reasonable rating for at least one person. Hello, another corner. About to make this interesting, are we? Dawson back post. Oh, it was the rare back post strategy as well. We have near post in swinging, and now I've added near post out swinger as well on sort of equal levels of frequency. But the back post one is on the less frequent option, just to keep people on their toes. And it's paid off there as Dawson gets a goal. And suddenly we're back in this with better XG. Oh, God. Now, if we could just get the ball to Haaland and he could just smash it over a couple of times, that would be great, just to make the XG look a little bit more, you know, in line with the game. Or you could just score again. Like, why are we... What? I don't mind Haaland scoring as such. What I do mind is the total utter lack of defending. Where is Kilman? What is he doing? We literally just put drop off on as an instruction and he is there compared to the person he's supposed to be tracking. João Gomez gets within 2 yards of him and then just stops. And Dawson, admittedly, tries to stop this angle coming in and still doesn't manage it. There's so much fundamentally defensively wrong with that. Did Kilman take the throw-in? Is that what's just happened there? Is that why Kilman's out of position? Throw-in will be taken by the most suitable player on the designated side of the pitch. Can I designate that person, please? Is that something I can do? Well, like Nori should have been taking it anyway, so I don't know what's happened there. Moving on to retain possession, not even work the line. So if that was a throw-in, I don't know what just happened. Can I take my goalkeeper off? I don't think that's allowed. Well, it is, but I don't think that's sensible. I brought Johnny on as an attacking midfielder right because I don't have any more options. De Bruyne just played this entire game injured. Nobody know they're not taking him off. Or at least someone else has scored. Rafinha's first goal of the season. Even when it's Manchester City, the meme still stands for Football Manager. Christ. I mean, realistically at this point, Pep would have taken Haaland off to protect him. These European games, why would they continue on? He scored 4 for Christ's sake. He'd have been off at 3, frankly. There's still some realism of things that need tweaking, but oh god, our XG is actually higher than this. Semedo, what are you doing, Semedo? Use your eyes, you utter cretin. It's not like our shirts are similar colours. Jose Sal might as well not exist in this game. I can understand they're Manchester City, but there's definitely a variable here that's just letting goals in because they're Manchester City. Like, there's a definite bias or something going on with the engine saying, oh, it's Manchester City, they score a lot. We'll make the goalkeepers useless, so that happens. It just hits him and goes in. They've literally had 6 shots on target. They've all gone in. Sar saved nothing. Not a single sausage. Oh no, sorry, I tell you, he saved 1. He had more shots, the same number of clear-cut chances, 9 corners, and we've lost 6-2. Don't get me wrong, they had more shots on target, but they had the same number of clear-cut chances. Difference is, as soon as the ball landed at their feet, it went in. Small consolation, just got an achievement for scoring from a set piece that's been trained on. It's not like it's the first one that's happened, so I don't know why that's just popped in now, but we certainly weren't as bad as the scoreline reflects. Man United won 6-1 that week. Hang on, what happened there? To beat Newcastle 6-1. What? I mean, what is going on here, people? I know we've just put 4, but 22 goals. He played 15 games. Also, by the way, that Arsenal win is the only time they've lost. Man United, the only unbeaten team, which feels weird. Both Luton and Sheffield are on course for being the worst team ever. Both of them. I mean, we are still 7th. If we're still 7th by the end of next weekend, it'll be a bit of a miracle, but it's away at Aston Villa. Well, they play on the Wednesday, though. And it is the early kickoff as well, for good measure. That's the shortest possible turnaround for them. But yeah, if I go on their schedule, I mean, what mess is this? Christ, 7-1 Palace, 5-2 Tottenham, 6-1, well, that's unsurprising, Sheffield. You got 4 in that one, 3 against Spurs, 3 in the 7 of Palace. They actually lost to Liverpool. 4 against Bournemouth. Actually lost to West Ham as well. Also, Everton are stupidly good for some reason. I don't know why. So they do have Rodri then, and they do have Phil Foden. Kyle Walker has a hamstring. Okay, you can actually see this. Kevin De Bruyne doubtful. Broken ankle. You're telling me that Kevin De Bruyne played that entire game with a broken ankle. And yet my players complaining when they've got blisters. You're not playing as often as you were promised. You've been agreed to a squad player. None of my centre-backs have been injured, and we play mostly on a weekly basis, barring those couple of weeks where we had a Carabao Cup game, which you played in. I see Football Manager haven't fixed this nonsense. I don't remember him kicking off about that. Yannis I kicked off about my team talks, because I thrashed them for losing a game. The press asked me about selling Nelson Semedo, though. Apparently Man United are interested. His baseline price is about 60 million. He is 30, surprisingly. And we have essentially 4 right-backs at this point in time. There's Hover out on loan. Now, he's not even going to be that good, in fairness, Keanu Hover. So we still have 3 essentially first-choice right-backs in Doherty and Johnny. So if we get big money for one of them, it won't be the worst thing. But Semedo is by far our best player, apparently. And Januzaj is properly injured as well. So I've just discovered that I've been playing Pedro Neto on the wrong side. So he's actually right-sided. I actually need more players on the left, which is actually a bit fine because a lot of people out on loan are right-footed players. Podence and Chiquinho, they're both inside forwards for the left, really. And they're both out on loan. Now, I don't have the space to register them if I wanted to recall them, but if I could sell other people, I might be able to get away with that. So for now then, Neto on the right, Hwang on the left, Cunha remains up front. Doyle comes back in the CM because he's actually played quite well there when he's played there. So Mariba disappointing so far, and I might be getting stern words from Leipzig if I don't play him more, but I'll take that when it comes. A lot of changes for Aston Villa. I dare say, for the better for us. There's some that are like strengthening, i.e. the right back of Cash, but the central defenders and Hauser on the left as well seem to be rotating a little bit less good, hopefully. So hopefully we can exploit that weakening in defence, or theoretical weakening. They are 10 points ahead of us, and they are second. But we remain on attacking just to see how it plays out. Attacking used to be the thing to do, actually, on a couple of FMs ago. FM23 didn't really feel like attacking over positive was a benefit, but we'll see how it pans out here as Semedo lands on the floor. Well, that comes off someone, but Kamara scores. Am I going to have to sign a goalkeeper? Oh, as we rewatch this, that reminds me. The board took out a loan of about 30 million so that we have 30 million to spend in the January window. I'd rather they didn't take out the loan, quite frankly, but we now have 30 million. We have created nothing. But Kilman will get underneath this. And Kilman will find João Gomez, who gives it to Doyle, who immediately gives it away. First touches seem a bit sloppy now. That's partially because it's probably raining today, so that might just be an engine thing for the rain, so it's not wholly inaccurate. Neto's on the end of this, and he has smashed it straight at Martinez. That was brilliant by Neto, says the text. Beg to differ. He's kicked it straight at the goalkeeper. Semedo doesn't count as attacking third, so he's played it short. Neto's remained on side, I'm pretty certain there. Hwang Hee-chan back post, it's a push. I'll be honest with you. A lot of penalties seem quite soft / wholly not a penalty. The number of times I've seen someone actually kick the ball away from someone's feet and not actually make any contact in the engine and it be a penalty is, well, about 5 more than it should have been, both for and against. But that was a penalty, that was a push, so it's slightly different. I mean, at very least, Hwang did end up on the floor, so who knows, maybe there was a penalty. As I genuinely thought he missed there. Cunha scores 1-1. Can't remember who he was against now, but we had 2 penalties in the match and they were taken by different people, which made no sense to me at the time. I will show you what caused it, because this is something you're going to need to check as well. It's not on this page. But on the penalties page, there are new options at the bottom, I'll show you afterwards, to change the taker if a person is missed, and to change the taker if someone else has already taken one, which is a weird one, because surely you always want your best penalty taker on unless they've missed. So just a flat line, change the taker if they've already taken one, is a baffling option to have, but I suppose, it doesn't hurt as an option. As John Duran gets hit in the face and scores a goal, he's injured too, probably because the ball's just broken his nose trying to score that. This genuinely just ricochets off his face. He has no wherewithal what he's doing here. Traore kicks it against our player and it just comes off Duran's face. That is the luckiest goal in history for his debut goal. He's also, utterly unfit to be playing right now, which I'm not actually mad about. He's still on this pitch because I think the solution would be bring Watkins on. I mean, defend? That was appalling from Semedo. Appalling. Yeah, it is Semedo. It's not the wrong person just being left there. What is Semedo doing? He's just watching the ball. He doesn't react to Zaniolo at all. He's apparently our best player. They've actually brought Leon Bailey on for Duran. We are actually second best in this game though, unlike the Manchester City game. Now I'm going to have to do something here because we don't have the personnel. I suppose I could probably get away with this for now, if I get the right people on the right places. Lamina's booked and playing terribly, so I might as well bring Mariba on there. Yeah, so Kalaji's up front, Cunha and Neto remain as inside forwards. We've got a highlight at least. They've taken off a winger for a central defender, so it looks like they've changed shape. Doyle, mind you, they're taking Housewell for Yuri Tielemans, so that might have undone that immediately. So, what are you doing? That would have been some goal. Yeah, it would have been. We'll try something. You know what? I'm kind of glad for the third because the second one was a nonsense goal. So I'm glad there was a legitimate goal that separated the team. I'm glad for the Zaniolo goal because if it was the Duran one that settled it, I would have been massively annoyed. Yeah, we just didn't play today. It's a shame. Jose Sar's just put in a 5 point something and a 6.0. And that puts Villa top. Sorry, you were the problem. Well, we'll put that disappointment aside. I mean, what an episode, losing 9-3 on aggregate there over those 2 games. But we'll bring things back against, well, probably Spurs and then either Brentford or Sheffield United, depending on which one I feel like. Probably Brentford, actually, just the first 2 directly after January, with all the comings and goings involved in January. Southampton in the FA Cup. Hopefully that's negotiable. Obviously relegated last year, Southampton, so should be all right. It's at home too. There might be an FA game. There may be an FA Cup game to bring you there because I think the second round for us, 4th round overall, falls in February, should we get through. But if you enjoy this episode, do like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Thank you for watching. Ciao.